This will either make her super horny and she'll come straight away, or this is going to make her be like, ugh, get off me. So it's a risky one, but I'll tell you anyway. As always, if you're watching this and you're my mother, my father, or any member of my immediate family, please don't watch this video because it isn't for you, it's for the other people. As for the rest of you, let's get into this. First, one you might not have thought about, and not many guys do. Use a lube. And what's lube, you might ask? Well, lube's what makes it slippery. So some girls, they'll be super, super wet, which is amazing. You won't need lube with them. Some girls maybe not as wet. Maybe they're not so wet today. And that's all right. Either way's fine, because as long as you've got a bit of lube, you'll be fine either way. And there's also some lubes you can get that make the experience more fun. So you can get some that add like tingling sensations, or have a scent or a smell or some sort of taste to them. So it can really make the experience quite fun. So I recommend every guy, like it's a bit of a rookie error if a girl comes around to your house or you sleep with a girl and you don't have any lube. I think most girls would be thinking, wow, has he pumped before? Because most guys, if you're a bit of a player, you know you've got a stash, you know you've got some lube hanging around. So number one, get some lube. And then you might ask, what's a bullet? A bullet's like one of these little vibrators. They're about this big. I'm in a hotel at the moment, so I don't have access to my bullet. Rookie move, should have bought one with me. But a bullet is like a little vibrator. It's like that big. You whip one of these out at home when a girl comes over, and I would recommend you give it to her. So when you're penetrating her, she can use it to stimulate her clitoris, and she can get off that way. And it's quite an interesting, fun thing to use. You can have some fun with it. Various different things you could do with a bullet. But I think it also just gives the impression like she'll be thinking in her head, this guy's just pulled out a fucking bullet and lube. I'm with a player here. And I don't think that's a good thing. I think girls secretly, they want to be with a bit of a player, someone who knows what they're doing. So there you go, boys. There's your first two tips. Very valuable. If you don't have either of these, get them sorted. It's very cheap. You don't have to do anything. It's just a couple of things you have to buy and you're sorted. Especially if you've got a girlfriend and you've never done this. Might bring something back to the bedroom. But swiftly moving on. Number two. This is something that comes down to your personality. You've got to build that confidence, and also, you don't want to be silent. If your girlfriend's silent, what are you thinking? You're thinking, oh, maybe I'm not doing this right. You're thinking like, oh, she's not having a good time. Now, girls, they actually think the same thing. I've spoken to a lot of girls that have told me if the boy's silent, they don't like it. They've sat there and they're getting fucked by some guy and he's making no noise at all. Now, I'm not saying you should be moaning, screaming your head off. You can do if you want, but I would recommend just a little bit of a nice in-between. A little bit of dirty talk, telling her off, sort of making some noises, telling her how wet her pussy is, that sort of stuff. Yo, your pussy's so wet and tight, you're absolutely fantastic. Stuff like that, it's going to get you a long way. But you don't want to be silent, boys. And the key to confidence, I find, is you've got to be happy with your clothes off. So if you're not in great shape, boys, get in great shape. If you want to get in shape with me, I've done a triple your testosterone course. So you can get all that fucking testosterone coursing through your veins and then get in great shape. There's like 4 programs included with the course. So if you boys want to do that and join the tribe and the community, it's all in the link in the comments and in the description. Little side note to that. When I boosted my testosterone, I had a very weird side effect. That was women wanted to smell me more, even my body odor. They were attracted to my body odor, like the increased testosterone was releasing some sort of pheromones, and the women I was sleeping with at the time wanted to smell my armpits directly, and it was very strange. So just a little warning there, that you could have that happen, just to let you know. But that is another great tip, boys. It's going to help you a lot. It's just going to put you miles ahead of the game. If you're confident, you've got that aura around you, you know what you're doing, you're leading the situation, you're not scared, you're not turning the lights off, you're not scared to take your clothes off, you're in great shape, and you're making a bit of noise and you're getting into it. Now, map a routine. What do I mean by that? In your head, what I don't want you boys doing is just getting into bed with a girl and going missionary, like 5 minutes missionary, fucking cum everywhere. Nightmare, not what we want. So in your head you need to have some self-control, and what I do is set out a routine like, okay, we do missionary, I'm going to do that for 3 or 4 minutes, then I'm going to hit doggy style, then I'm going to hit her on top, then I'm going to take it over to another part of the room and do a standing up, and then I'm going to pick her up and put her against the wall, bang, back to the bed, then I can come. That way you're adding in some story, you're adding in some excitement, you're making sure it isn't just fucking getting on the bed being a 2-pump chump, which we talked about in the last video. So have a routine. That's what I mean by map out a routine in your head. I don't mean like have a routine for when you have sex. I mean in your head, think about a certain amount of moves you're going to do before you come. because that's going to allow you to actually last longer, and you know you can't finish until you've completed that. It's going to make it a lot more interesting. It's going to have her raving to her friends. Sometimes, as I've said here, boring sex is okay. Every now and again, you just got to go for it. But every now and again, you want to get in the game. Now, change location. It's another huge one. This is a panty wetter, boys. I mean, girls, they might not tell you, but they want to be fucked in different locations. So, could take her out in the car. If you've got window tints, do it in the back seat. Go into the forest and do it. Go into toilets at restaurants, the disabled toilet, and do it. I'm pretty sure that's what the disabled toilet's for. Do it at the cinema in the toilet. Try not to get caught. Girls love this kind of excitement. So take the risks, boys, and change location. Now, this tip I shouldn't even really be giving on the internet. I'm a little bit uncomfortable about giving this tip. This will either make her super horny and she'll come straight away, or this is going to make her be like, ugh, get off me. So it's a risky one, but I'll tell you anyway. It can pay off. Every time I've used it, just to let you know, every time I've used it, it's paid off. It's always paid off, because I think secretly most girls want this, but you've got to be sort of having sex and it be very horny so far. You can't just be doing this at the start, but it would be, this tip is the finger in the ass, or the thumb in the ass. So thumb in the ass when you're doing doggy, finger in the ass when she's riding on top. This, every time I've done it, it makes girls come. Like, they start going fucking wild for it. They think it's naughty. It's a bit dirty, obviously, and they love it. But if you do it to the wrong girl, maybe she isn't going to be comfortable with that. So just make sure she's comfortable with everything. Same with all of these tips. Make sure everything's consensual, and make sure everybody's having a good time. But there you go, boys. That's my tips. Use them at your own risk, but I hope to make each and every one of you slightly better in bed. If you want to join the course, join the tribe, speak to us, boys. If you've got any questions about sex tips or any more stuff, join the tribe. In the course community section, you can add to the WhatsApp group, message me, message the boys on the group. We can talk sex tips, we can talk dating tips, whatever you want. But that's all for today, folks. See you on the next one. Whoop out, whoop out, whoop out!